And we are here.
We are here. Can I say bumble bitches, or is that going to get us in trouble?
No, you can say it. I gotta.
We're back, bumble bitches.
I didn't do your camera again.
What do you mean?
You don't see the...
Oh, I see it now, yeah.
Once again. Oh, no. Oh, man. I'm a mess.
You're a hot mess, though.
Yeah, fucking something.
Can I see a shimmy in the sweatpants?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
I like it when you tell me no.
I know. That's why I said it. All right, let's see if that camera turns back on for her.
Okay.
There it is. All right, now I just got to zoom out because you're way too big.
Oh, I am. Look at that. Oh, that's much better. Oh, do you see these wires, guys? Where is it? Here? Let me take this cardigan off.
All right.
All of this?
All right. So, a couple of it, like announcements, I guess. We have some house cleaning to do today. Can anybody confirm that we are live on Twitch so that I don't have to open that window?
I see 5 people.
Okay, good. So we are definitely going to be doing our live streams every Wednesday and Sunday moving forward, both on Twitch and on YouTube. We hit affiliate today on Twitch so that we should be able to start getting the Amazon Prime subscribers over there.
Okay.
So if you guys are a Twitch user and you're not using your Amazon Prime, you should be able to join and subscribe over there for that. We have two more interviews lined up, maybe 3 over the next like 3 months or 4 months. And we are going to be using our interview content moving forward solely as bonus content. We are scheduled currently into April with podcasts, and I think to the end of March with interview podcasts. So we are going to restructure some of the interviews, and we are going to be turning Friday back into email content so that we have 2-day releases of content for emails, and then 2 live streams, and whatever interviews we do, we're going to be doing again as bonus content. So we will be doing more email content for you guys.
How exciting.
Yeah. We are trying to hyperfixate on Zoom calls for our Patreon lives. Get it out, woman.
I'm really mastering the silent cough.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have to do it in the morning or else I'd wake you up.
If in the event that we are able to start getting more and more people to do Zoom calls for our Patreon live streams, our Patreon lives will be focused on emails with live reading so that we have people on Zoom answering questions as we read the emails. And I think that that's the next evolution of the podcast for Patreon community. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything that was like really relevant.
Oh, I also have 2 cooking videos up now on Patreon.
Yeah. Yeah. You also got the baked conspiracy theories is up. So.
Yeah. If you guys wanted to check those out, we're still working on getting the setup done for makeup conspiracy theory, but that is still in the works.
For those of you who are looking for us on Twitch, it is just To Be Better Podcast. So today we are going to just be doing some Q&A stuff. Anybody that wants to have your question read, we will guarantee to read something that's sent super chat. Otherwise, we may just pick stuff at random. Don't know how long we will be on here today. But if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. And let's jump into some stuff, babe.
You guys see that neat little red pill threads up there on the screen? Remember that Preaches Peaches shirt y'all begged about? Check out that website.
Yeah, it's up there. It is up there. Highly recommend that you order your shirt in a heather, though, because the ones that are not heather, you're going to have to order a size bigger because they do shrink when they get washed.
They do.
Cookie said, I just bought an NIV Bible, Peach's Bible, to learn from. Being out of faith Catholic trauma for 20 years. Thank you for all the work you guys do.
I love that.
Caitlin said, the cemetery and baked conspiracy are absolute bangers.
The cemetery episodes are a trip. For those of you on TikTok who don't know, we, meaning Lauren and I, Lauren the mortician, are doing cemetery segments now where we are talking about death and morbid and cryptids and strange occurrences, just all the spooky paranormal things that make people uncomfortable at night. And we are doing it while drinking wine. So if you would like to see a tipsy Peaches, check out our Patreon.
Angelic Apricity said, binged watched episodes 1 through 27 and literally love you guys so much. I officially 2 weeks into taking my man's boots off every day and he feels like a king and I wouldn't want it any other way. Thank you, seriously.
I love that.
It's such a big deal.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. It's Becky to you said, I asked this in Discord, but I also want your opinions. How do you feel about the man asking the woman's father for their blessing before proposing? As a man who is a father, I actually think that that's the right move. Mm-hmm. I know that that's frowned upon in terms of societal norms now because it's being
seen as women are property of men.
Right.
Like I'm not property to give away.
Yeah. I saw that one TikTok where that woman said she told her dad that he couldn't walk her down the aisle. And
he was devastated.
I could only imagine the fucking heartbreak from him, right? Because it's not a matter of being property. It's a matter of leaving one family to join another. Like there's a lot behind that for us.
There really is a lot to that because you are leaving your family.
Yeah.
Guys, parents, 95% of the time you will spend with your child is within their childhood.
Yep.
When they leave, they're starting their family. It's gonna become once a week phone calls and every other holiday.
Yeah. That situation of asking the father, I think that also really depends on how close the daughter is to her father. Right? You know, there's the whole daddy's girl thing is a real thing. There are a lot of men out there who are very, very protective of their daughters. And if you were able to show that kind of respect to that man, it's going to provide a comfort in him.
Right.
Knowing that you're going to be a gentleman and that you're going to protect this woman. And like, it shows a lot about your character. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people who disagree with that because I know that the society is changing in terms of what is normal and what is not. But I would rather be seen as a gentleman than a piece of shit, you know?
Yeah, there's also a safety in that. There was a TikTok that was going around for a while of, I can't remember if it was a Japanese man. He was an Asian ethnicity, and he was giving away his daughter at her wedding day. And he looked at his future son-in-law and said, if there is ever a day that you don't love her, please don't kill her. Just bring her back to me.
Yeah.
So, like, there is an anxiety that goes into my daughter's leaving with somebody. Mm-hmm. I would, like, looking at it that way, in my young feminist mind, fuck that. I'm not asking anybody for permission to. You don't even have to meet the person I'm marrying. I don't care about what your opinion is.
Yeah.
Now, as I'm getting older and having children, there is definitely that worry there. I prayed about that this morning.
Yeah.
That when they grow up, they find love.
Caitlin asked how your ankle was.
It hurts. It's getting better. It's tight. What?
Yeah. It hurts.
It does. I'm able to walk on it. I can still feel that it's unstable. I know that there's certain movements that I cannot do it or roll. And I'm also recognizing that. So I prop my ankle up on my knee to put my sock on because bending over hurts my back. And when I'm pushing on that back muscle, it hurts like a knot. Like that whole muscle there is just tense as shit. It's a lot.
Took everything I had not to make a blowing your back out while you're bent over joke because you said it. Angelique Lee said, I just wanted to say I love your content. I didn't have any positive role models growing up, and both of you are very inspiring. I've binge watched all of your content. Thank you for everything that you do. Have you binge watched all of it or just what's on YouTube? Because there's a whole lot more on Patreon.
Just some of that.
Yep. Shameless plug to our patrons, you guys. Thank you for all that you do over there.
I love you guys.
Nutella Goddess said, I'm a younger woman and I was wondering, how do you go about inspiring or influencing a boyfriend to hit the ground running after a long stint of depression? Depressive states set him back quite a bit. He needs to read Choice Theory by William Glasser.
Yes, Choice Theory. And I would say the 4 Agreements.
Yeah. We need to do we need to finish that book breakdown. You started that and
I know, but we stopped it because everyone voted it out.
It's a good book.
It was voted off the island.
Yeah, well, we should vote it back on. Jesse Landa became an early access member. For those of you who do the memberships on YouTube, if you do the early access with live streams, you get access to the Patreon lives.
Hey guys, those of you that are watching, should I do like Elvira hair? I was just like, I could bump it up. Like, do I have the face for it? This is me asking my friends their opinion.
Oh, okay. Everybody, I just want to shout out to Marcus Elliott. He's in the chat right now. You guys don't know him. If you don't know him, he's been here since almost the very beginning of all of this, and he just randomly pops in to say hello.
Hello, Marcus.
Ashley said, I am a single person, and I want to say thank you for what you guys do. I'm seeing what I can change to get what I want moving forward. I picked your super chat or your chat just now because we have, oh, you know what? I don't know if I can see super chats from Twitch. Maybe I need to focus on this chat instead of the other one. Anyways, I read your comment because at 5:00 today, we will have the initial questionnaire for people who are courting.
Questionnaire?
The questionnaire.
I thought it was a questionnaire.
Questionnaire. The questionnaire for people who are courting to like take on dates and ask questions and use it to start getting to build a foundation based off the questions that we've written out. I have to scroll up to see if we can get super chats from Twitch. I don't know if that's a thing.
Oh, I haven't seen any. This is the only thing that I can see, so.
I don't know. I don't see any super chats from Twitch. Lorna, if we get super chats from Twitch, you have to let me know. A lot of people are saying yes to do it.
The Elvira hair?
Yep.
I want to buy a Bump It. Do y'all remember that? The Bump Its? That would make it super easy. Teasing my hair is hard for me because it's really curly and windy. I could do it. I could figure it out.
Andrea just sent us a $100 super chat but didn't say anything.
Holy shit.
So thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Andrea.
And now I'm looking for your comment. I'm sure something's coming. We are currently tossing around the ideas of doing actual...
life coaching.
Yeah, coaching call. I'm going to say calls.
Yeah.
We'll just stick to calls for right now. But we are working on other things in terms of possible life coaching. But for those of you who are interested in doing live calls, private live calls, not ones that'll be recorded and posted out, send us an email at tobetterco@gmail.com so that we can try to put out feelers to see how interested people are in that. There will be a fee. It will not be a free call.
Right. So are you meaning like couples with both of us? Or
I would prefer that.
Or men with you and women with me?
I would prefer, well, I mean, either one. I would prefer it to work as couples so the two of us could sit down with a couple to problem solve their shit. Mm-hmm. But I'm more than willing to sit down and coach a guy one-on-one.
Yeah.
But or counsel. I don't know what you would call that because it's just a one-on-one call, one-time thing. It's not a life coaching thing.
Right.
But if we end up doing the life coaching thing, that's obviously the next step. But I want to see how the calls go before we really dive into that.
Okay.
I don't see a post from her. She just gave us $100 and didn't say anything.
There are men on TikTok who say that they would love to do that with you, to have a one-on-one call.
To tell those guys on TikTok, if you guys can hear me on TikTok, it's chris@tobebetter.com. Send me an email. Tell me what you want to talk about, and we'll go from there. And then that'll help me decide whether or not I'm going to actually talk to you guys one-on-one. I spent most of my day yesterday going back and forth with a guy in Discord, and then another guy that emailed last night about mentorship. So,
yeah. And then same thing for me, guys. Peaches@tobebetter.com if you're interested in a one-on-one coach call, mentor call thing. There will definitely be
a fee.
There will be a free, but there will also be... Oh, hang on. Before I send you guys there, I need to turn off that automated thing. But I will respond to you with a follow-up email before there is the understanding of we're going to move forward with the phone call.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. There will be a screening, if that makes sense.
Emma said, if a man decides he is not ready to commit to you, is the right thing to do to cut him out of your life? I can add more detail if needed. Cut him out of your life is kind of extreme.
It is.
You can still be cool with somebody and not commit to them. Why not just accept their friendship and move past the idea of being in a relationship with them? But the answer to that is yes, don't chase them. If somebody tells you they're not ready to commit, move on.
I would agree with that, yep.
Andrea finally sent her chat, although she did it with another $10, so thank you for that. She wrote,
thank you.
I meant to write something, haha. You guys helped me realize how stagnant my 5-year relationship with my ex was. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything you do. Be sure to go to tobebetter.co later at 5 o'clock tonight and download that courting questionnaire, because I think that if you're going to be moving into new things, that might help. Shyla said, I know there's a men's group on Discord. Does Peaches have a women's group on Discord? I would love to be a part of that community.
So yes, there is a women's group. It is not a private women's group like my husband has, where he does chapters and book breakdowns and really one-on-one talks with people in Discord. I don't. That's why we're looking more into the one-on-one calls. Texting is something I can get sidetracked with super easily, and you might not hear from me for 45 minutes to 2 hours. So there is a public women's group where there is a mass support of women in there. And we also have a women's monthly challenge going on right now. March is a little delayed, guys. I did not recognize that there were only 29 days in February, and I forgot we were in February. So I typically do release the monthly challenge a week before the first of the month. January and February are done. And if that is something that you're interested in, once you get into Discord, you can @mod or @admin, and they can move you to where you need to go if you wanted to participate.
Yeah. Katie Eller said, I really love you guys, and I have now gotten my boyfriend to listen as well while I play it. Thank you. And then Mossy Games from Twitch said, absolutely love listening to both of your podcasts when I'm driving around. Really puts a lot of things in perspective and helps me improve myself for my relationship.
I love that.
Also from Twitch, Agent Glee said, love your guys. You've been the main help in my marriage, and I've tried to communicate with her that I am not okay, and she doesn't listen. She calls me a fat piece of shit while I'm working 2 jobs for her. Like, I don't know what to do. You need to send us an email.
Yeah. Because that's abuse.
Yeah, there's a lot to that.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Somebody asked about Patreon and said, would you ever do a couple bundles for your Patreon, asking for my partner and I? So Patreon will not let us give away subscriptions. So what you do is you join on the $20 tier on Patreon, which will get access for you and your partner to Discord, where we post everything that gets posted to Patreon so we can work around Patreon. So once you're in the Discord, everything gets posted there that gets posted to Patreon. So yes, but there's steps to it.
How do I turn off that vacation reply in my email?
We'll have to do that after the live stream. I'd have to dig through that. I don't know.
Okay. Guys, if you're going to email into me about the calls or the coaching or anything like that, just to show interest in it, you will receive an automated email back that was in regards to my garden segment. Disregard that email, please.
Yep.
That's something I have to figure out and add on something different.
Country Girl said, what is that Discord name that Peaches was talking about? Our Discord is only accessible through our Patreon.
Yes.
Amber said, I want to thank Chris for being what I call my man translator. Since discovering you guys, Chris has opened my eyes to how different men see the world and has helped me with my husband immensely.
Isn't it wild?
It is. Yeah. We've had to navigate a lot of really stupid fucking conversations because our brains don't work the same.
Right. We got through them, though. And now we're able to recognize the disconnect quicker.
Jenny said she'll turn off the vacation settings.
Oh, Jenny, thank you. I adore that woman. I wish we lived closer so I could bake you like pies and stuff. Or like help with dinner. I always make too much dinner. We always have leftovers. Just bring over dinner one night when you work late or something. Make your life easy the way you make my life easy.
Okay, here's a fun question that's not relative to anything.
Okay.
If Peaches and I set up a retreat for a weekend.
I love this idea. I'm so stoked you're asking people.
Would you guys be interested in doing a weekend retreat with us?
The answer is yes. I want to live out like my boho, earthy, alternative, hippie mentor, like 90-day fiance retreats, but we're actually solving things and we're leaving here loving each other more than when we came in.
Yeah. Sabrina said, no question, just a thank you to you both. for everything. My 1 year in Discord is coming up, and it's been a blessing being in there. We need to send out 1 year birthday cards for people who have been in Discord or on Patreon for a year.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Oh no, it jumped. Jam G84 for $50 says, as one with BPD, have either of you ever suffered with viewing your life through a victim mindset?
Yes.
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 I'm trying to better understand my mom. She has CPTSD and also has lots of BPD and narcissistic tendencies, while also always the victim. That all three of those are very similar things.
Yeah. They can, so CPTSD and borderline can often be mistaken for each other.
Yeah.
Or they can go hand in hand and develop at the same time. So what was the question?
Can they play the victim? Like, is that a normal thing for them to live through a victim mindset?
Yes, well, do you want to answer that?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I've actually been doing a lot of research on this within the last few days, and your mother is still a child. She is stunted mentally. She has matured physically. She has aged. Her brain has matured. So has her childlike mindset into adulthood. That's one of those things where she is now has it ingrained in her, a system of living. It can be unwired, but she needs to be the one to unwire it.
Tori said you have to pay for the Discord. Yes, you have to get it. You have to pay for our Patreon to get into our Discord. It gives you guys slightly more access to us because we're in the Discord constantly, and we're not going to just give that away. We don't have a whole lot of free time, so there has to be some sort of transactional thing there for us to justify spending our time on it. If we do the retreat thing, I think it would be a limited thing. I think we'd have to find a big Airbnb, like a 6 or 8 bedroom Airbnb,
Right.
and then break down the cost of the Airbnb. And then, like, if we have 8 people, break it up over 8 people to cover the cost of the Airbnb, and then just do that. Mm-hmm. We'd have to really look into that. If aliens invade and create an apocalypse, would you guys survive? Depending on the alien, depending on the apocalypse, nobody would survive. That's like saying, a zombie apocalypse. Are we talking 28 days later zombies or Walking Dead zombies? It's two very different things.
World War Z, like zombies?
Right.
It depends on the aliens. I don't know.
Nikki Puff said, how much is the Patreon? Having access to Discord would be cool. So the Discord comes with a $15 tier. The $20 tier gets you group access, and then we have an ultimate tier that's $30 that gets you access to everything, and it gives you quarterly t-shirt drops, name credits, a smaller private chat, etc. The community in Discord is what makes that worthwhile, though, because even though we're a part of it, we're a small part of that community. You guys are in there killing it.
Yeah, I have to. That's one of those things. Guys, I am such an introvert. I know on the podcast I seem like so much fun and everybody wants to be my friend. I am such an introvert. And I have to force myself, like, okay, we're going to spend 45 minutes in Discord and interact with people, even though you're anxious about it. Let's go. Y'all keep the Discord alive.
We just got a whole bunch of subscribers. Adrian said, how do I find a traditional man as a almost 22-year-old? I think that you should be working on yourself at 22 years old. I think that in that situation, trying to find a traditional man would be really good. Try to find a country boy. You're probably going to get a better option with that.
Blue-collar worker.
Right, because they're going to have a little bit more work ethic and values instilled in them than the average person. But I got to be honest, at 22 years old, you're still very young. You have a whole lot of life lessons left to learn. Start working on being the best version of yourself that you can be. Mm-hmm. And then download the questionnaire when it comes out at 5 o'clock today.
Yes.
So that you can start probing questions to find out what people's futures looks like, how they are in relationships, etc. And then just don't settle for less than. Easy for $20 says, just wanted to say thank you for everything you do. Because of the questions and important conversations, I have gotten more from a 5-month relationship than a 4-year relationship. I want to join the Patreon. Easy, do it. Join the Patreon. Lots of content over there. Lots of cool shit happening, especially in the Discord.
Our banner went away.
I took it down.
Oh.
Somebody said, I hate pooping in a home of strangers, but a retreat does sound fun. I feel that. That's funny.
Yeah, I've started packing toilet paper when we leave to go places.
Yep. We got a 10-person B&B for Bike Week for 9 nights at $1,500. It's not bad. I don't know where the hell you got that from, but the last time we Airbnb'd for a 2-bedroom house, it was like fucking $3,000 for a week.
Well, it was also holidays.
Yeah, that's crazy. What are some ways to show intimacy when your partner is incarcerated?
I don't know. They have like iPads and stuff now.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's been a long time since I was incarcerated.
Right.
That was not a thing when I was in there.
I'd be sending booty pics and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let you get that through.
No?
No, because it's still read. Like, they still have to screen the emails that are in and outgoing to make sure that they're good. And like,
That's kind of fucked up. They won't even let their man, like
No.
they won't let the men see their wives' booties.
Nope. So to answer that question, I think that a lot of that would be things like sending letters that have perfume on them. I know that sounds crazy, but your scent on a piece of paper goes a long fucking way with the way the brain works. Making sure that you're there when they call, and then just being honest with them, talking to them.
Thank you, Jen.
Dr. Harley Quinzel said, when would the retreat be? I don't know. We literally just talked about this a little bit last night, and that was purely hypothetical. I just didn't think you guys would really want to do it. So, four corners. All right, going back over to the other chat. This is a lot to deal with. Nope. All right, well, no super chats. Let's see what we got to read.
You guys had your baby? Hell yeah. Soak up every moment with that child.
Maya said, oh, there's a super chat. I'll go back to that question
chat.
though. Kayla Brewer for $10 said, hey, I just wanted to reach out and let y'all know that there is an account under To Be Better, pretending to be y'all to get people to donate money for readings through TikTok messages. That's crazy. What's really crazy is on almost all of our videos lately, we've said on there, we do not DM for readings. Beware of scammers. Yeah. So this really comes down to TikTok not giving a shit that people are scamming people. And the last time we went through, it cost us $3,000 to clear out all those scammers. And it shouldn't be on us to have to pay for that. So we're not doing it anymore.
Yeah. And they came back full force. There's more now than there was before.
Absolutely did. Question for both of you. What was a big reality check you learned growing out of teenagehood versus young adulthood? Example, mine was depression isn't an excuse to waste away or to be a shitty human being.
That I'm in charge of my emotions.
Right. My biggest thing was that nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah, that was another big one for me.
That if you want anything in life, it's going to be a direct result of the choices that you make, and you can't fucking depend on people for anything. So Kim said, would you come to Idaho or close to it for a meet and greet? Have you ever been to Idaho? I have been to Idaho because there's a small area of Idaho that connects to Wyoming and Montana, and to get to one of the parts of Yellowstone, it's easier to go around to that way. And I stopped and took a couple pictures, like on people's property, gave zero fucks because some of the landscape there was so amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, I don't know about Idaho. I know that there's a possibility we'll be in Iowa soon. So we will definitely be that way. And we 100% will be going to Montana at some point in the next year. I just have to figure out if I'm going to drive us there or if I'm going to fly us there. Because if I drive us there in the van, we can bring the electric bikes.
Ooh, we could.
Yep. Did he just say Iowa? I need details. We were invited to Iowa for a roundtable discussion with Mike and Katie from Force of Focus.
Yes. So
I don't know when that'll happen. I'm thinking probably June or July, but we will be going out there.
Wait, hang on. Repeat that. We know so many people, and there's so many different states. So who's in Iowa?
Mike and Katie.
And what are we doing with them?
The roundtable thing that you talked to Katie about.
Right, they'd be coming here.
Oh, that's not the conversation that I had.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
I guess I don't know what I'm talking about, which would not be the first time. It's pretty common. Upstate New York, never. Sorry, no offense, but I will never, ever in my life step foot in New York ever again. Not unless New York City becomes not a thing.
Yeah, I did not enjoy New York. New York City specifically. That's where we went. It was,
Well, the rest of New York is gorgeous,
yeah.
but the city ruins the entire experience. LOL. I know they don't want to come to Mississippi. Why not? I'm actually looking at land in Mississippi. California, nope. Sorry. Well, that's not true. Joshua Tree's down there. If we go to California though, it will be a us to take pictures and vacation kind of thing, and we'll be staying in another state and just travel to California. Oh man, Chris, you have mentioned in the past about you are experiencing a bipolar episode. Nope, never said that. I don't experience bipolar episodes. I have borderline personality disorder. My question is for Peaches. What are your best practices to help your partner through tough times? Let me scroll back up so you can read it.
No, I read it. I give him space. I ask him what he needs from me, and he tells me. That's it. That's the kind of relationship we have. He tells me that he's going through it, and I say, okay, is it something that I did? Answer. And then my next question is going to be, what can I do as your wife to support you in this? And I will either get a direct answer, I'll get an I don't know. And if it's an I don't know, I just carry on about life the way I've been living life and continue loving my husband and serving him food and asking him if he needs anything.
Yeah. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is just leave me alone and let me process. It really is, especially when I'm dealing with like a depressive mind state, because I'm already overstimulated and exhausted feeling in that moment. So as you guys are typing all of these things about where you want us to go, we will be picking states that are within hours of other states and doing a meet and greet through Patreon when we do them. So if you guys want to actually meet us in person, the meet and greets are going to be through Patreon originally until security gets figured out and we have Ivy and all of the security aspects are figured out. It will be Patreon exclusive meet and greets. When we get to the point where we're doing seminars and things like that and we're selling tickets for shows and that's a different scenario.
Right.
But we're not going to come to every city. I did see Utah. Utah's on our list. We're going to Arizona in March and doing a meet and greet for Patreon in Arizona. I want to do Montana. I want to do the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky just because I want to do that. I don't know if that'll be a meet and greet thing or maybe we'll, rent out a tour and just fucking sell tickets for that so that we can all do it together. But a lot of that's going to be worked around so that we can do a vacation and a meet and greet and make it work for everyone involved.
That would be dope.
Darth Cinderin said, I'd look into Red River Gorge cabins in Kentucky. Lots of good hiking and close to a cool small town. A good way to get away from big cities. I'm going to write that down.
Noted.
Red River Gorge. All right. Tiffany, thank you for the early access.
Thank you.
Peacekeeper Arms said, shit, I'll help with security. You'll have to get with Dakota. Peacekeeper Arms, I'm almost positive you're in our Patreon or Discord, or I talked to you on TikTok. Dakota from Better Built Dogs is going to be doing security for us when we travel to most of like the southern Tennessee or surrounding area states. So as that gets set up, you'll have to work with him on that because that's going to be kind of his detail.
Someone asked when we're getting Ivy.
I'm hoping by May. They just did their first shoot house.
I saw that.
And she's getting there.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody said, what's your favorite individual personality trait about your children? My nephew is 1.5 and can already tell he's going to be very adventurous, fearless, even started drunken baby walking at 6 months.
What?
They just want to know what our favorite personality trait about the kids are.
Oh my goodness, they're fantastic.
What's your favorite personality trait from each of the kids?
The silliness from our son and the sassiness from our daughter.
So, Xena, warrior princess.
Yeah.
Her courageousness is my favorite trait about her. And for him, it's his compassion.
Yeah.
So you can't teach that. Like he just inherently has, I want to love and help and do good.
I think he got that from me.
Yeah. Adrian said, I have a 2.5-year-old. What's your advice on raising an autistic boy with a man who does nothing for him? I don't want to go to court, but I don't know what to do. That's an email question. That's such a like loaded thing that 160 characters isn't going to be able to help you. Especially the level of autism, because there's so many levels of that I don't know. I do think you should go to court, though.
Yeah, I would go to court.
I think everybody. I think that a DNA test needs to be done before anything. Not saying that he's not the father, but having that paperwork proving that it is could change his mindset a little bit. So a DNA test and then court system. I believe that. I think that there should always be a backup plan. As much as I don't want the government involved in our families, having the ability to be like, you can't keep my son from me is nice to have. If you can't co-parent, you need that structure. Heather, I'm not going to try to say your last name. I remember your episode about the Keys because you wanted to see the Clearwater come to Lake Superior. Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever go up to Michigan and Ohio. I just don't know if that's going to be a thing for me.
Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to go back to the Keys, though. I want to try that again with our bikes. Sarah said, question for you both. If Chris wanted to take up photography as a full-time job, how would you navigate Chris's photographing women, models, and how would that make you both feel? I would not do that. I have done boudoir photography, and let me tell you, let's talk about that for a minute. That's not worth it. As a man photographer, the money is not worth it. The headache that comes from jealous men, the men who think that they're going to come and try to fight you at your studio, the insecurity from women who think they want to do it and then become uncomfortable with you because you're a guy. Like, it's just not. I know that there are male boudoir photographers who do very well. Mm-hmm. I personally don't think it's worth the hassle. The money is not worth the headache that comes with it. So I also know that in the event that if I was to ever do that, and that was my absolute bucket list, I want to do this as a career, we would have to do it as a team. I wouldn't want to do it by myself.
Oh, I don't know. We would have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they asked you how you'd feel about it, so I wouldn't do it alone.
Yeah, no, that would be a conversation.
That's it? That's how you feel about it? It'd be a conversation?
Well, it's from past conversations that you and I have had, and I don't want to say that on the podcast.
To be better, Darcinderin said, found a 5-bed cabin at Red River for 5 days at 3:08 a night, FYI. Can you send that to me in Discord, please? Just DM it to me. Going anywhere around surrounding Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, West Virginia. I mean, we will be going. Tennessee is close to that. We go to Tennessee all the time. If you guys want to have access to our meet and greets, you're going to have to join Patreon because that's where it's going to be for at least the next year. Beyond that, it'll be much more planned. Let's move over here and see what we got going on from Twitch. I feel like I'm neglecting this. I don't like that we don't have all of the chat in one spot on the big screen. I want to ask if that is herbal medicine vape or nicotine vape, but don't want to be too obvious. Also, I don't know if you can answer that on here, so ignore that if it is not an appropriate question for this platform. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on herbal medicine. Don't know what to call it. Anything else on here? I know the rules. It is medicine. And for her, it helps her a lot. And for me, it does not. You want to read that one?
I would like to thank Peaches. I fought myself for years trying to figure my shit out to no avail. Peaches, you lit up the path I had been searching for to heal myself and be a submissive wife. Thanks.
It's awesome.
I hope it's made you happy.
You know, we should, once the Twitch thing gets bigger, we should do like random, like sub-only lives over there.
Oh, that would be dope.
I'm told that the streaming quality is better on Twitch. There's not a lag. But I've never actually used it for anything. I wonder if I can change the stream settings on this to make it better. I'll have to look at it next time. We have excellent streaming health over here. I don't know.
I don't know what better than this would look like.
Well, they say that some people say that when they watch us on YouTube, it's funny, fuzzy. And I know that you can go in depending on your internet connection and change the settings. So it should be 1080p. But apparently Twitch is just clean out the gate. Somebody asked how your apothecary is going.
It's going. I'm testing herbs and trying things and concoctions. I'm also trying to figure out the legalities of being able to sell herbal teas and whatnot.
Yeah. Kim asked have you been to Graceland? I'd go when traveling sometimes. You mean like Elvis in Graceland? I have not. I don't know if I want to do Nashville.
Why?
It's just too big of a city and there's too much going on. And I don't like heavy populated metropolises.
Right.
I don't even enjoy going to St. Pete anymore. Like that's not Clearwater Beach is too much. I don't even enjoy Siesta Key. And that's not a very big space. It's just overpopulated. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't like Key West so much.
It was a
There's
lot.
too many fucking people down there.
You also didn't enjoy St. Augustine.
Same thing.
Yeah.
St. Augustine would be a lot different on those bikes though, because we could literally park and just skip all that traffic and not have to walk 45 minutes to get to everything. So Angel Irwin said, why does my partner hate it when I pick my skin? We just got into an argument and I don't freaking understand. Well, I think that's more of a question for your person and not us.
Why do you pick your skin? Sounds like there's an underlying issue there. Is that like a compulsion?
Caitlin Hebert said, we should make a list of questions like Chris did to Ant, but for Chris and Peaches to answer. We could do that. We did a lot of that in the beginning. We have old Patreon videos where you guys did that to us.
Yeah.
Kim said that it's in Memphis, Tennessee. I mean, that's even worse. It's even worse. Memphis is actually the most dangerous city in Tennessee, the highest crime rate. It's actually so much so that I looked at property in Mumford, which is about an hour from Memphis, and that is even too close. And I lived in Mumford as a kid. Like, that was a very small town. There's only like 5,000 people, and it would be perfect. Mm-hmm. Too close.
Yeah.
In the event of an emergency, all those people are going to be leaving that city and fucking up the surrounding area hard. Peaches, I would like your advice. How do you maintain your intimacy with your spouse when you're going through girl problems?
Do you mean like menstruating?
Oh, man.
Like, what's the problem? Is it the menstruation? Or is it the cramping? Is it the mood? Girl problems means nothing to me.
Yeah, be more specific, guys. I saw something about, you mentioned Joshua Tree. Have you been through Death Valley? I have been through Death Valley. I have taken Milky Way photos out there. That's one of my favorite places to take pictures, and Peaches and I will be going out there at some point and spending, hopefully, a night in the van out there. We will see, though.
Oh, I want to lay in the dirt and look at the night sky and be engulfed in darkness.
When you lay on that salt flat, as your body lays down, it'll go... It sounds like bones popping when you walk because it's so dry.
You're going to just find me rolling around out there like a burrito. Yeah. Oh, that sounds going to be so satisfying to me.
The man with the burrito. He kicked him. Move More said, thought on Carl Jung's shadow work. I believe in shadow work. I actually do believe in that. I think that it's something that can benefit a lot of people. I think that there are definitely levels to shadow work, and there is... I think that if you can find the proper guide doing shadow work while on any type of, I'll call it an adventure because I don't want to get kicked off YouTube, is super, super beneficial. Here we go. You want to read that one?
Y'all have mentioned the homeschooling before. How do you anticipate to change the podcast dynamic?
We've talked about this a little bit.
We have talked about this a little bit. There's a lot of moving parts in order to homeschool. The goal right now, they're young. When they're a little bit older, it'll be so much easier. Knock out 3 or 4 hours in the morning of schooling and be like, all right, guys, need you to do something to occupy yourselves, go outside, ride your bikes, hang out in your rooms and do art, maybe do some science experiments. You need to find some alone activities so Pops and I can work.
Right. You know that other than our Wednesday live streams, I don't think that it would affect anything. And even that would change if we were able to just put something out there to keep them occupied for the 2 hours that we do stuff.
Just bring their tablets, bring some snacks.
Right. And that would be if we had the kids full time.
We could build a tent over there.
Could do a lot.
Get them super excited about coming over and camp out.
Right. If we ever got regular internet at the house, I don't think it would change our podcast at all because we could just record at night while they're sleeping. Let them go ride their bikes around the yard. You know, we only need 2 hours of time. It's not very hard.
Right.
Also on the school thing, I saw something the other day on TikTok that said the average school time for elementary kids' schools for homeschooling is less than 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to middle school, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then in high school, it's up to 4 hours. But it's one of those things that if you're homeschooling like that, you can do a whole lot in a short amount of time, and then they don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week.
Yep.
I also think about their sleep schedules. You know what I mean? Like if we could let them sleep their schedule however they want to do it, that would be, I think, it'd be a lot more beneficial to their brain, but I also think that would create issues with their discipline.
I think that there would definitely still have to be structure of things. So school days, we're definitely getting up a little bit earlier. I plan on doing like culinary with the kids and home ec. Like we're waking up by 7 o'clock in the morning to have breakfast ready for Pops by 8:30. We're doing the thing. So there would definitely still be structure, but I also want them to have nights where they can have a week off and not have to worry about waking up. I feel so bad waking our son up in the morning to go to school. Every single morning. Mom, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I was like, I know, bud. I know it's 6:30. I would love for you to be able to sleep in.
Looking to see if there was an update to that question. I don't see one. Aloha Snack Bar said, can't wait for the Tampa meet and greet. That'll get figured out after we get back from Arizona at the end of March. If we end up doing Dave and Buster's, I have to do it soon so that I can get a discounted rate, which gives us a free room. But I'm not overly looking into that right now because I'm more concerned about what's happening with Arizona and trying to figure out how we're going to move forward with some of the content that we've got going on. How do you stay off the internet during the cold season? I don't understand what the cold season is. We didn't get any follow-up to the woman issues or whatever. Did we? Did I miss that?
Any follow-up to the woman issues? No, I don't think so. She said girl problem.
Girl problem. Yeah, same thing.
No.
Woman issues, girl. I mean, I guess you're right. It's not the same thing, but.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to keep scrolling through all that. If we see it, we see it. Caitlin said, I was homeschooled my whole life. Looking back now that I'm almost 30, I appreciate it so much. I learned how to run a household by my mom. If we end up really doing this homeschooling thing and we ever end up with the kids full time, if that ever actually becomes a thing, they will own a business before they're 18 years old.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. My goal is to get them started at about the age of 14.
Yep. Monique said, my phone keeps restarting. I didn't see a question from you. If you sent a super chat, I didn't see it. The girl who asked about girl problems said something about her surgery declining a hysterectomy. Thank you, Morgan.
I do appreciate that update. I don't understand what that has to do with maintaining intimacy.
I think that needs to be an email.
Yeah, I'm not following.
Because they're beating around the bush and not giving clear, defined things, and I don't know if that's because they don't want it out there or what. Let's go back over here and see what's going on in Twitch. How do you navigate getting attached to your fiance's son when you are the step-parent role? How do you navigate getting attached to your fiance's son? Why would you? I mean, that's the whole point. You're a bonus parent, right? If you're going to marry this person and you're going to be in their life for the rest of your life,
right?
Wouldn't you want to have an attachment? Like
you may not be the biological mother to that child, but you will be a mother figure.
Yeah.
After a full hysterectomy, your libido does go down. If you're doing a partial hysterectomy where they're only removing the uterus and the ovaries stay intact, my understanding is that they will continue to produce the hormones and it will not affect libido. Why'd you move your mic?
Because Danish asked what my shirt said.
Oh.
When do you guys read emails? We read them on our podcast and on Sunday nights. We normally will read them on Wednesdays too, but we're not doing that today. We're taking a break. We're just trying to hang out and have an easy live today, guys. What consistent activities do you guys do as a family? Board games, family, cookie nights? She does cookie nights. I don't partake in the cooking.
Yeah, we do. I mean, there's not a set schedule of anything. I don't want the kids to grow up feeling like they can't do things on a whim. Like if they deviate from a routine or from structure, that they're going to be filled with anxiety, and I don't want that in them. So we do a lot of different things. We consistently ride bikes together.
Yeah, that is a big family thing.
Yeah, we ride four-wheelers together.
We spend a lot of time with the kids.
Yeah.
Like not on devices. Spend a lot of time. We all eat together.
Right. We cuddle and watch movies together. That's a pretty consistent thing. And then
Yep.
while
That's
we're
wind
watching,
down.
yeah, that's the wind down. And while we're watching movies, we will also pause the movies and be like, okay, kids, what's going on right now? And we will have them break down the scenes of what's going on and why a villain is doing what he's doing and why the main character is reacting the way the main character is.
Why Tarzan's getting kicked in the face for lifting her dress.
Right.
It teaches, in doing that, we're teaching our kids to objectively watch television and not just zone out.
Right.
It's super dope.
You were so caught off guard when I was like, what is he doing, guys, for him to get kicked in the face?
Well, I wasn't watching.
Right.
So I heard him tickling her foot and
Yeah.
her laughing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I answered that as he was tickling her foot and you were like, no. And you rewound it. I'm like, holy shit. Aqua Wolf, Aqueo Wolf on Twitch said, I'm unsure if this question is relevant at all. I'm curious if you think any advice you guys give would drastically change if it was toward a gay couple. I haven't seen every episode, so I'm actually not sure if an email like that has come up. My question to you is, why would the advice that we give change if you're in a gay relationship? Communication, understanding, compassion, learning how to talk to your person, understand. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that's all universal. I can't imagine that that's changing because somebody has a different sexual preference.
We're both with a dude. It all applies. We have had emails about same-sex couples. Mm-hmm. That has come in. We've had emails from transgender people trying to navigate relationships. Being in love and wanting to be a better human being is universal.
Sammy said, I want to take the time to say thank you, Chris and Peaches, for being helpful guide / example of what healthy structure relationship for a healthy structure relationship. My partner and I watch your podcast videos, lives, and soon, Patreon. Speaking of which, we just got a patron. 23, found a traditional dynamic with my man. I feel really, really lucky. I have POTS, and he's carried me up the stairs during flare-ups. I watch y'all so I can continue to improve our dynamic.
Oh, I love that.
When the last time we were at the dealership, the time before last, when we were at the dealership when you were on your crutches still, and I picked you up out of the van, Michelle saw that and she was like, that was so fucking sweet.
Yeah. She was like, I absolutely love you guys. And then the children walked up behind me and she was like, oh my God, are these your kids? She had a whole moment.
Yeah.
She had a whole moment.
Yeah. Peyton said, anytime I tell my husband that something's bothering me, he always responds with, oh, well, in a dismissive tone. How should I handle that? Are you telling him, hey, something's bothering me? Or are you actually telling him what's bothering you? Because those are two very different conversations. Mm-hmm. How do I help my husband get the diagnosis he needs to help him with his mental health? I can see the traits in him and our relationship, and his mother is also diagnosed BPD. Are you a therapist? Or are you speculating at his symptoms? But that's not something that you can can help with. You need to convince him that he needs to go and have a test done if you think something's going on. And you need to do it from a way that it's not about being on drugs, because most men don't want to do that. It needs to be from a place of, hey, if you get diagnosed with something, it could change your life, because you can learn the tools to cope with things.
It can change our life. I can learn how to cope with things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jamie for $4.99 said, will you guys ever bring back the Burn the Ships hoodie? I really wanted one, but barely missed the launch. I honestly never thought about that, to be honest. You're the first person that's asked for a reprint of that.
We got 18 subscribers on Twitch already.
Hell yeah. I would not be opposed to the Burn the Ships hoodies being reprinted. I don't know when, but I definitely think that it would probably get done again. And if not, we can get Red Pills to print it so that it's on order, but it won't be a Carhartt.
Right, it'll be a different material.
Yep. What do you love the most that Peaches does for you in the home? I would love to be my boyfriend's piece, and I wanted some things I can implement. I am a priority to my wife in every aspect. Not just, are you hungry? Not just, how is your mental health? Not just, want some sexy time, right? Like, you make me a priority over everything in your life. That is the most amazing thing anybody can do for somebody else, is to put them first. So that's my answer to that. You put me first. I don't have to worry about shit if I'm having a bad day. You know it. We have conversations when necessary, and I try to return that to you. You know what I mean? Like, it's an ebb and flow, so it's not one-sided, but being somebody's priority is the highest compliment you can get. I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know.
Oh, there's people having conversations in Twitch, full-on chats.
Are you hungry?
I actually am getting hungry, yes.
Oh, thank you for the gifts on TikTok, guys. Just a reminder for those on TikTok, we are currently live on YouTube, so I'm not interacting with the chat. If you want to have just a live with me before we go live on YouTube, I do go live 10 a.m. most of the time. Wednesdays, Eastern Standard Time, and then every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live on TikTok.
Heather, that's a question that we've actually answered a lot, and I don't really want to get back into it. The short answer of that is Peaches and I knew each other for a long time before we even started courting. Our courting phase started after my divorce. So anybody that's been through a divorce knows that that's not a very fast scenario. I would really love Peach's advice on finances account. I haven't been able to follow through with 2 pregnancies because of my pain physically and mentally. I feel like I'm not a woman because wherever the rest of that is going to come in. I would really love Peach's advice on finances account.
Probably on fiance's account.
Is that what it says? Did I misread that?
It could be fiance's account, like she's typing from somebody else's account.
Okay. Jamie said, I have almost all of the shirt designs that you guys have made. I was so excited for hoodies and set alarm, but by the time I got cell service at work, they were all sold out.
Damn.
We still have hoodies. I don't know which hoodie you're talking about. The Carhartt hoodies are still in stock.
Probably the Burn the Ships.
Probably.
Yeah.
Joanna Metzler said, you guys should come to Southern Missouri in the spring or fall. Lots of photo ops and trails for your bikes. I don't know if Missouri was ever really on our list.
I've thought about Missouri.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
When people send in questions, do you tell them if and when it's being answered, or do they just have to keep watching for it? We always let people know when we've answered their emails. We give them an episode so that they can go back and watch it, but I know you all really dislike short emails, but I could send one for advice on relationship with my mother. Well, in order for us to give you advice, we would need details. And we would need a lot of details, so it wouldn't be able to be a short email. We actually don't. I mean, we do get some short emails. The screeners do put some through because there's enough information to help. But for the most part, if there's not enough details for us to really get involved in the email and have a back and forth about it, we're not going to read it.
Mm-hmm. If you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I highly recommend hitting the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Sometimes we pop on here and do lives. Surprisingly. Surprised? We do pop-up lives. There we go. We do pop-up lives, guys. This is live. I can't say cut that.
Oh, wow. I guess we've sold out all. That can't be right. There's got to be hoodies left in stock. Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck, I don't know. I haven't looked at our stock levels. Let's go and see.
Yep, Jen just said that once the email goes live, that she notifies the people.
Dope. Oh, she does it when it goes live.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, she's so on it.
Right. How is my ankle? My ankle's healing. It feels like there's a massive knot. Like that whole ligament is just tensed.
We have 11 hoodies left in stock. 4 small, 4 3X, and 3 4X. That's damn things actually sold out. I am diagnosed with BPD and I have looked into therapy, but my state doesn't provide the therapy I could have. Do y'all have any other ways to help me become better and work on myself? Yeah, go to our website, tobebetter.co. Go to our reading list. There's 3 books on there for people who have borderline. Read all 3 of those books and start implementing that. If those 3 books do not change your life, go to YouTube and search dialectic behavioral therapy and start going down that rabbit hole. Is there the talk of the 2 of you creating a workbook? There was a talk about Peaches doing it at one point, but I'm pretty sure that that's been scrapped at this point.
Why would you say that?
Because we have so much other shit going on that. Have you even been working on that lately?
Yes, I have.
No, I don't know. I just used to talk about it all the time, and it just stopped hearing about it, so I assumed you scrapped it.
Well, you got other things going on, and there's no really new developments. I'm just adding things to it, so.
Well, there you go. I was wrong. Stevie G said, thank you, Peaches, for helping me realize that I was the problem. When I realized hubby just laughed at me and called me slow.
What?
That's what they said. Oh, I'd have to. I'm on the wrong one. I don't know where it went. They were called slow by their husband for it. I don't know. Danielle Duda became an exclusive live stream subscriber. Thank you for that. If you guys want access to the Patreon lives but don't want to do Patreon, you can always join that way because they do get posted. Chelsea Twerk said, been bleeding for 9 weeks. Partner doesn't want to be intimate. Feel like we are disconnecting.
Why are you bleeding? Okay, that's not normal.
Nope, it's not.
Why are you bleeding for 9 weeks? Because that's not just, is this the girl's problem?
I don't know.
9 weeks of bleeding is not girl's problem. That's not women's problem. That is a medical issue. If that has not already been looked at, I would be highly concerned. I'd be less worried about intimacy, and I would be seeing a doctor.
Caitlin Hebert asked, have you guys ever had any awkward fan interactions? Define awkward. We've had some interesting ones where people have been emotional and shit. We did have one person come through who gave us the heebie-jeebies, but it wasn't like super awkward. They just made us feel weird about them.
I get recognized all the time when I go to get my nails done. I love talking to you guys in the wild.
I actually really do too, but people won't approach me like they approach you. They're afraid of me, I think. Heather responded again and said, Chris, respond to your response. I am going through a divorce. Agree on you. It isn't short at all, which I'm grateful for. It gives me time to heal and level myself with help of your podcast. Thank you. This is a really good time for you to go back and watch the dating episodes, 11.5 through 13, I think, on YouTube. There's a lot of really good information on there, but This is the time for you to reflect on your divorce and go, what did I do wrong? Right? Because you can't take accountability for the other person, and you're not responsible for their action. You're responsible for yours. So what could you have done differently to have been a better partner, a better wife, better spouse, however you want to word that, and who possibly avoided the things that started to break down that causes the divorce to happen? And then once you break those things down, that's what you need to work on, because you can't change other people. You can only change you. Joanna Metzler said, I asked my therapist if I could possibly have borderline personality disorder because of my abandonment issues, and it's something we will be exploring. Joanna, I would Google the borderline personality test. I think it's 13 questions, and you can answer it online and then print it out and take it to your therapist. And that will help the diagnosis process move a little bit faster. How do you stop being so alpha and more feminine when your husband is around when you don't like being girly? That's a you question.
Wait, what? You don't like being girly?
How do you stop being so alpha and more feminine when your husband is around when you don't like being girly?
Okay, well, what's your definition of girly?
I have a better question. How do you think that you're an alpha around another alpha? If you truly have an alpha male and you have a true man in your life, you think you're going to outman that man?
Oh, no, 100% not.
Woman, I will Captain Caveman your ass in the bedroom, pick you up over my head and slam you, and then jump off the nightstand, top elbow style, like WWF, and be like, I'm fucking in charge.
I know. What?
It was the look up of pondering for me. That's funny. Peaches taught me so much about being my husband's peace in spite of my mental illness and traumas. Peaches, what do you do when you feel the emotions getting the best of you and you want to stop it?
I go outside. I stop everything that I'm doing and I superwoman pose and I stand somewhere with my eyes closed and I take some deep breaths and I go, I can't believe this is fucking happening. And 9 times out of 10, there are children running around when this is happening, and my husband's talking about business things, and I'm upset that the dishes are wet. And I look at all of them and I go, I'm taking a mommy break. And I go outside and I medicate and I lay in the grass maybe. And I get about a solid 5 minutes before the children come find me. But once they come find me, I've already calmed down and I've done my deep breathing and I've centered myself and I remind myself that the children aren't assholes, they're just children. And that life isn't as bad as I think that it is, and I'm in control of my anxiety and my depression, and I emotionally regulate now because I'm an adult. That's exactly what I tell myself.
Will you answer that?
Okay. How can I come home to my husband and just flirt with him without him getting the idea I want sex when I'm just trying to make him feel like he is wanted? Okay, so what does it mean to want somebody?
I read that as a cock tease.
Me too, because when I think of anybody ever saying I want you, it's always in a sexual context.
Right. There's a difference between saying to make him feel appreciated.
Right. There's a difference between intimacy and sex.
Right. That's why I wanted you to read that, because I wanted to see if we were on the same page there.
Yeah, if I'm walking up to you and I'm nibbling on your neck and I'm whispering things in your ear, I am making a stance of, all right, caveman, let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if I don't want that sexual intimacy and I just want you to know, hey, I'm thinking about you, I love you, and I appreciate you, I'm going to come rub your shoulders.
Or sit in my lap or kiss the top of my head.
Right.
Right.
Just check on you and just say, hey, babe, I love you, I'm just thinking about you.
Yep. It's also important to remember that men and women are very different when it comes to sex.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch on Country Girl 161 said, I have another question. The 3 books that you recommended and the dialectic behavioral therapy on YouTube, are those books online /audio or actual book? They're both. You can probably even find them for free on YouTube as audiobooks. And then what is the YouTube channel for the therapy on YouTube? You're going to have to find that one on your own. Just search DBT practices or something. Shiley Eric for 1999 said, if an email contains information with background knowledge to help understand a current situation and that background info talks about becoming clean from addiction, will this not be read because it's mentioned? No, it will be read. You can simply say, like, I'm a recovering addict of blah. You don't have to get into the details of how you overdosed in a bathroom at a gas station in Nevada. Like,
right. If you did foul things to the person you're currently with while you were an addict, that could be relevant information.
Right.
If they're having trust issues because of that, those are good things that are good details to add into there. The only things that will disqualify your email from reaching our eyeballs in the podcast is very heavily saturated DV, SA, child abuse, or just pure trauma dumping with no real search for resolution.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to read trauma dumps. This should just, it's a lot. Lewis said, thank you for all that you do. Chris and Peaches, watching your journey has given me the confidence to speak out about my trials and tribulations.
I love that.
Yeah, good for you, bro. I fucking hope that you're thriving in life. We get so caught up in not being able to fucking vent that we just put a cork in it. And eventually that bottle's going to break. And when that bottle breaks, you can't put it back together and you're never going to put all that shit back. You have to let that shit out sometimes. You got to vent. You got too much steam. Pressure cookers will explode if they don't vent.
So somebody said they appreciated that person asking that question about how to showing them that he's wanted without sex, without wanting to have sex. They said showing appreciation can be easily interpreted as wanting to have sex.
No, it can't.
It's not. Babe, can you tell the difference when I'm just showing you some lovin's and I'm like, hey? Huh?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If I walk in the door and I'm having a bad day and you take my boots off and you're like, hey, I'm really proud of you for fucking suffering and doing the things that you're doing for our family. I want you to know that I love you and I appreciate you.
Right.
I'm not going to be like, okay, bend over. It's a very different conversation. You're letting me know that you're proud of me and that I'm appreciated as a leader and a protector and as a father and a husband. You coming up and grabbing my ding dong going, hey, there's a very different conversation there. Right. You can kiss me on the top of my head. I fucking know what it is. If you come over and start nibbling on my ear, that's not a kiss on the top of my head. It's a very different discussion. If I'm hugging you and you put your hand on my chest and you just stare at me in the eyes for a minute and let me know that I'm loved, that's not the same thing. Yeah.
Now I have a follow-up question. Is this man deprived of sex? Because if little things are getting him going, you can't give a starved person food and tell them to eat slow.
Yeah. That's true. Christine Souza sent $2 with a 1-up.
Oh, thank you. A 1-up? What is a 1-up?
I don't know. It's got a hungry hippo eating a 1-up.
Like a level up type thing?
I saw something earlier that said that when two alphas can coexist together, it's a beautiful thing. And I wanted to touch on that, but I'm not going to go back and find exactly how it was worded. You can't have two alphas. Somebody has to submit in that situation. You cannot effectively run a household with two alpha individuals. There will be conflict. There will be headbutting.
There will be a war within the household.
Yes, there will be. Yes, there will. Oh, man. Dakota with K9 Training Academy in Orlando. No, Dakota is Better Built Dogs in Tennessee. I have learned, Tiffany Amber said, I have learned to set boundaries, be in my feminine, communicate clearly and openly, to not people please, and how to be okay with being alone. I was so codependent and I work through emotions. Thank you both. That's fucking gangster.
I'm glad you're able to work through emotions.
Get it. What would you say for the roles being reversed in a relationship? The woman working and the man staying at home. No children, but I'd love to have my boots unlaced at the end of the day. Why is the man staying at home if you don't have no kids?
Yeah,
that sounds like a mooch to me.
Also my question.
Is he disabled? That's a different conversation. I don't know. You guys can hate on me for this all you want, but I think that men should be working. I don't care if you made $10 million a year. I'm still going to have a job. I have to have a purpose. You want me to sit around and be a depressed mess? Leave me alone for 3 days with nothing to do. Leave me alone for 5 days with nothing to do and see if I'm still alive at the end of it.
Right.
We need purpose. Men have to have a purpose in life. Aren't you both alphas if you submit to each other? No, you're not. Somebody still has to run things. You have to have somebody that's a final decision. Yes. God, I love you, woman.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for someone who is not the main character in their own story?
Become the main character.
Maybe. That's a beautiful thing to have that humility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you just flowing with other people's whims and wishes? Because that's a different conversation. But to be aware of those around you and being selfless and to serve other people the way that Jesus was here to serve, that's a very beautiful thing. But I think that really comes down to what you mean by how that affects your life, I guess. He's autistic and goes to school.
Who?
The person that has a stay-at-home husband, man, I guess. I don't know. He's autistic and goes to school. I don't see how that keeps him from working, though.
Yeah,
if he's able to go to school, he's obviously functioning enough as an autistic person to get a job.
I know a lot of autistic people who have jobs.
So do I. I hire them. Yep. Oh, man. Just wanted to say I had a drink ready for my fiance when he got home, took his boots off, and showed him sexual intimacy, and he literally lit up like a Christmas tree. All ideas from you guys. That was from Jessica.
I love that.
It's me, Jessica, in here. I love that, too. It doesn't take much for a man to feel like he fucking matters. It really doesn't. You bringing me my plate every night at dinner time. That's just normal. That's normal life for us. I do not take that for granted. I don't eat until you sit down. I won't let the kids eat until you sit down. But I'm the priority. Like, you feed me first. Setting my plate down before anyone else gets fed shows me that I am fucking top of the food chain to you. Mm-hmm. Me making everyone wait until you sit down means that we're going to eat as a family. And like, I'm grateful for the fact that you cooked, and like, small things that show a man that he is more than a fucking paycheck will change his entire existence. Mm-hmm. It does not take much.
Did it change your existence?
You have changed my existence. Period. Full stop. Full chest. Our life is exemplary.
Yeah. I worry about that sometimes.
I don't think that you really have anything to worry about in that, babe. We check in enough that if things were starting to slip, you would know. You would know immediately.
Okay.
Amber Wilkins for $5 said, "Thank you all for everything. I have been watching for over a year, and it has helped me change to be a better woman. I found a wonderful man. Thank you."
Oh, I love that.
Amber, you are exactly what we tell everyone all the fucking time. You do the work, and eventually the universe will put that right person in front of you.
How long do you want to be on here for?
I'm ready to wrap this up.
I need something to eat. The lights are too loud.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, we've read the last super chat. Guys, we are done for the day. We will be live on Sunday night. We will be running through emails on Sunday, and hopefully we will be doing a follow-up to the Zoom call that we started on Sunday, which did not go live on Spreaker or on YouTube. That was strictly Patreon because of the content, but we will see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Oh, don't forget, today at 5 p.m. we will have the questionnaire for people who are courting on our website, tobebetter.co.